Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. God.
I don't know.
This was stupid.
All right, your point about what this means for Javon Evans and how that's more important as a bad thing, it's a good one. But as far as actually watching this episode of Roadblock, the worst thing on the show, the worst part of my whole day maybe, this fucking Spears family video, the culling is their name. This
It's fine.
dialogue. I'm watching adults, grown people, say things such as, this group's mission, purge the weak, slaughter the feeble, and reshape this NXT society as we envision it.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Fuck you. Out of the shadows, the culling was born, united by survival. 4 hearts melt together as one
It's romantic.
with the desire to reach the zenith of NXT.
Huh.
Go fuck yourself with all of this.
Wow.
And then it turns out it's not just they're doing these wacky pre-tapes. They're like giving speeches to Sean Spears.
Yes.
The camera, they're talking to it's not preaching to the choir. It's
fireside chat.
It's the choir preaching to the preacher.
Yeah.
Last week he says, "I took their gold. Next week you 3 will take their heart."
Oh.
I was humiliated watching this.
Wow.
I was.
Wow.
I hope they're never on when somebody's actually in the house. I don't know how to explain myself. Sucked.
Cinema.
Fuck you. Sarah Schreiber is interviewing Eddie Thorpe.
That's twice you told me to fuck off.
Just
Just because of the culling?
yes, I had to watch it.
Man, oh man.
It's so bad it made me hate myself for watching it.
Bro.
Whatever I failed in life, what have I done wrong that led me to this? Sarah Schreiber interviews Eddie Thorpe, who is just hated by the New York crowd. Absolutely hated. He's talking about Trick has no idea what he's getting into on the King of the Underground. And he notes, I've been in the ring with Trick Williams. He does not like to be hit. Which I get what he's saying, because it's supposed to be like it's a whole new environment for Trick, but most people don't like to be hit, even in wrestling. Anyway, Trick zooms in and attacks, and everyone's going crazy for that. Next week on NXT, the NXT Underground match between The Family and The Culling, Ricky Saints versus Ridge Holland, and Chelsea Green versus Sol Ruka.
Yeah, she's getting her title match after beating her in that tag match.
Smoke.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia, title for title. They had a very, very good wrestling match. This would have been the best match in NXT about 45 weeks a year. It was not this week.
That was still pretty goddamn good.
It's really, really good.
Julia has an undisclosed injury. That's how it's listed internally.
All right.
And I've heard 50 different things, but whatever it is, she needs a little time off and also has to deal with the visa issue. But goddamn, I mean, as far as like work, I think this was the closest she's had to a Stardom match since she came here. I mean, all of the other matches, when she first came to NXT, the thing was like, well, she can't work like she did in Stardom. She's got to tone it down a little bit. And like she walked in and just did very good WWE-style Julia matches from day one. This one, man, these two are in there doing crazy shit. She did a fucking butterfly suplex off the top rope. The very tippy top, not the middle rope. They're doing all of this crazy shit. They're going 100 miles an hour because it's not a PLE. There's no overrun. You got to be done at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they're fucking just sprinting. You would never know she was hurt. And
No, I knew one of them was hurt. I couldn't tell which one.
Yeah, it was Julia.
Yeah. And neither one's finish is over. Stephanie hits her finish for 2. No one really cares. Julia hits her finish for 2. No one really cares. And
Stephanie's finish, with all due respect, sucks.
It is a terrible finish.
It's a terrible finish.
And then she just did it twice in one.
Yeah, I mean, she needs a better finish.
So the finish was flat. The move that is most over in this match is that stupid face humper, which is mostly over because people like listening to Booker T ejaculate all over himself verbally. And, they had a very intense physical match. Crazy athleticism, crazy technique on display. Steph hit her finish twice and won, and is your double champion. So they're pushing this match as the biggest women's match in NXT history. I guess because it was for both belts, which had not been done before. It did not feel bigger than Bayley and Sasha. It certainly was not better than Bayley and Sasha. But like I say, this would have been the best match on NXT about 40 sometimes a year.
They did a twisting moonsault into a triangle spot, which was awesome. transition into a crossface, and then the super kicks and the cradle backbreaker, which needs to be improved upon. Yes, I thought the work in this match was great. I thought this was an excellent match, even though it was rushed and shorter than you would expect. And yeah, Julia's gone for a while.
Yep. So Roadblock gets 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, it was the best NXT show I've ever seen. How many times do I have to say that? The best! And we'll see what they follow up with next week. We'll see if they open up with a squash. Probably not.
I bet they don't.
Actually, you know what's funny is, like, they already have more matches announced for next week than AEW had for this week's Dynamite a day before the show. Next week, we've got Trick and Eddie Thorpe, NXT Underground.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Soul, Ricky Saints versus Ridge, and the Family versus the Culling. That's 4 matches.
NXT is way better about booking things ahead of time, announcing them, and it feels more episodic. And it feels like, man, I got to tune in to see that stuff.
Yes.
AEW's like, well, it'll probably be great. I guess I'll watch.
Next week's Dynamite actually has 3 matches already. Moxley, Cope, and
The 2 tournament matches.
2 tournament.
No, the
one
4-way.
tournament match.
Yeah.
And Mercedes and Billy.
That's right.
So at least they got 3 things for next week.
Yeah.
That's at least good. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.